The sun is finally out. You step into your garden after a long, wet week, and from a distance, everything looks perfect. The lawn is green, the patio is clear. You can finally relax. But then, you look closer. There they are. Dandelions popping up on the lawn, clover spreading like a net, and those stubborn weeds pushing their way through the cracks in your paving slabs. You're probably thinking, I literally just pulled these out last week. Why do they keep coming back? Am I doing something wrong? So, you bend down, grab a handful, and pull. Pulling them out might feel like you're solving the problem, but I want to be very clear about this. With most weeds, you are not actually killing them. You are just pruning them. The part that keeps them alive is still buried deep underground. In this video, I'm going to show you why your current weeding habit is failing. We'll look at why the weeds on your lawn and the weeds on your patio demand two completely different battle plans. And most importantly, I'll show you the exact steps to get rid of them for good and stop them from ever coming back. Let's get one thing straight. Weeds isn't just one type of plant. You're fighting a multi-front war. You've got deep taproots like dandelions, creeping networks like clover, and opportunistic seeds settling into your patio joints. But here is the secret. They all only need three things to thrive: bare space to root, sunlight to germinate, and a tiny bit of moisture trapped in the dirt. If you only attack the visible plant without changing the environment around it, they will always return. A new seed will drop, or that old root will regenerate. To win this long term, we need to treat the plant and the place it lives. First, let's talk about the hardest battleground: your lawn. Take the classic dandelion. The leaves sit flat on the surface, making it look like an easy target. But beneath the soil, it has a taproot that can drive down bar centimeters or more. When you pull it by hand, the stem snaps. You think you've won, but the reality, you just removed the plant's solar panels. The engine, the root, is completely intact, and it will simply use its stored energy to push up a brand new plant. To beat them, you have to look at what you're dealing with. Is it a single taproot? Is it creeping across the surface? That dictates your weapon of choice. Let's start with the area where you have the most to lose: your lawn. Out here, you have a dual objective. You want to kill the weed, but you must protect the turf grass. This is why pouring salt, white vinegar, or non-selective weed killers on your lawn is a terrible idea. You will scorch the earth and leave a massive dead patch. For isolated, deep-rooted weeds like dandelions or plantain, put the trowel away. Use a dedicated weed puller. You drive it down parallel to the root, loosen the surrounding soil, and extract the entire system. Look at the difference. But what if pulling by hand isn't enough? What if you have clover or creeping buttercup taking over large patches? This is where you need a selective weed killer. And I want to be very clear about what selective means. Biologically, your turfgrass and broadleaf weeds are different. Selective herbicides are formulated to target the broadleaf weeds only, without harming the grass if you follow the rules. Rule number 1. Always read the label. Apply it on a dry, still day. Never when rain is forecast, and never when the lawn is under severe stress from a heat wave. And keep pets and kids off the grass until it's completely dry. Don't expect instant magic. Over high to bar weeks, the weeds will twist, yellow, and die off completely, allowing your grass to reclaim the space. But none of this matters if you make the ultimate prevention mistake: scalping your lawn. Many people cut their grass as short as possible to save time. Big mistake. Cutting too short weakens the grass and lets sunlight hit the soil, which triggers weed seeds to germinate. Maintain a sensible height around bar to born inches. A thick, healthy lawn is your natural barrier. It physically chokes out the weeds, so you don't have to. Now, let's move to your patio and block paving. This is a completely different environment. You aren't protecting turfgrass here. These weeds survive because wind and shoes drop seeds into the joints, and dead leaves break down to create a tiny layer of dirt. The The biggest mistake people make here is reckless spraying. If you use a non-selective weed killer like glyphosate and the wind carries a fine mist onto your lawn or borders, it will kill everything it touches. So, how do we tackle paving safely? Method 1. Boiling water. Perfect for small, shallow weeds near the house. It literally cooks the plant tissue. Method 2. The DIY mix. White vinegar, salt, and a squirt of washing up liquid to help it stick. But listen carefully. Salt stays in the soil for months. Use this only on hardscapes far away from your lawn or flower beds. Never use it where you actually want things to grow. Method 3. Physical removal. Using a patio knife or a wire brush isn't just about ripping out the plant. You are scraping out the dirt and organic matter, the exact growing medium the next seed needs to survive. Nature hates a vacuum. If you leave those joints empty, they will just fill up with dirt again, and the weeds will be back by next month. We need to lock them out. Once the joints are completely clean and dry, sweep in some kaolin-dried sand. For an even stronger barrier, use polymeric sand, which hardens when activated with water. By sealing the cracks, you remove the space, the moisture, and the opportunity for seeds to take root. So, you've pulled the deep roots properly. You've treated the spreading weeds. Your patio is sealed. You've won the battle. But once the weeds are gone, they reveal your next massive problem: bare patches. And if you leave these spots of bare dirt exposed to the sun, guess what? It is the absolute first place new weeds will attack. Fixing these bare patches is the final, crucial step to building a lawn that defends itself. If your lawn is full of these bare patches after clearing out the weeds, let me know in the comments. Hit subscribe, because in the next video, I'm going to show you exactly how to repair those patches and get your lawn looking thick, green, and weed-proof. See you out there.